This is our 61st country. I think our 15 to 16 country on this trip as we travel through Europe. And we've now made it to the capital city, Slovenia, of what used to be also a very important city in this country called Yugoslavia. So it's our first time coming into Eastern Europe.
We came here last night taking a bus from Venice all the way to this city, and it took us nearly 5 hours on the bus.
There was a lot of delay, but we finally made it around 11 p.m. Our friend came to pick us up at the bus station, and now we're staying with him for the next couple of days.
Italy was so warm, and now here it's like 1 degree and 2 degrees. It's cold again.
Yeah, but thankfully it's a very bright and sunny day. Everybody's actually out walking around, and with when you're in the sun, even without the jacket, it's actually pretty comfortable.
Yep.
But it's when you get to the shade and you feel your hands, that's when it feels cold again. But it's so nice to be in Slovenia because we always pictured this to be a very different country. We're curious to see what it's like because it's a tiny little one nestled between Western Europe and Eastern Europe.
While walking on the streets, we can see that there's a lot of graffiti here also, just like in other countries in Europe. This country is pretty small. It has a population of around 2 million. And the people here, they speak Slovene. That's their language.
It's actually one of the smallest and safest countries in Europe from what we've heard. And today we are already getting a bit of a glimpse of it.
We just passed by a church. It looked very orthodox from the outside. It had these.
Mosaics, frescoes.
And from here, you can see the castle. You're standing in the line to have the best coffee in Ljubljana. The line is quite long. We'll have one, please.
It's quite atypical of us to start our day with a very sweet thing to eat. But this was the one recommendation that we saw from so many places. And our friend was very insistent that we try it first thing before we do anything else. And this is right on the way from his home into the city center.
It's warm and fresh. And this is called Krofi.
Krofi. It's a Slovenian traditional donut. It's very popular as street food across the country.
It's quite big. It's quite big. There's sugar on top and marmalade inside. This is the traditional one. They also sell ones with the chocolate and pistachio, which they didn't have. But we're happy to try this. It's so soft. Really nice. I didn't get to taste the jam, but yeah. There's marmalade right at the center. It's not as sweet as I imagined it to be, so it's like the right amount of sweetness. And it's also a little tangy. I think they've added lemon to it. I like the taste. It's delicious. I can have one more.
That was actually very delicious.
It would have been even better with a cup of coffee.
We're now walking through the old town streets again, and we're walking up to the first spot that we wanted to see, the Dragon Bridge. One of the strangest things we've noticed about Ljubljana is that there are all these statues everywhere. They're very different. They're not the usual kind where there's people. Like the first bridge that we saw with the dragons on top are only the beginning of what looked like more to come. And now we are standing on Butcher's Bridge. It's a bridge with love locks on either side. A lot of people come here, proclaim their love, write it on a lock, and clip it onto the railings of the bridge. And on this bridge, there are so many everywhere. But at the same time, this bridge is called Butcher's Bridge because there's a statue which seems to be like somebody who's a butcher, like a butcher who's holding something in his hand. But then there's also very random statues of animal bits everywhere on the railings. That's pretty crazy. And Shish is also using this time to call back home. What is that?
They have a small model of the castle. We are standing right here, looking at this tower and all these arches. It's quite big.
We're now inside the castle.
We made it to the top, and inside this castle, right at the center, they have this open space. And around it, you can see a few towers. One of them has a bee clock on it.
This one.
We came here thinking it'll be a nice spot for sunset.
There's a bunch of mountains that you can see from up here. I'm not sure if those are Slovenian mountains or the Italian Dolomites, but I'm thinking it's more Slovenian because it's not that far away from what it looks like.
Look now. Made it to the top. This is literally one of the walls of the castle, and the views from up here is so clear. It's not disturbed with any trees or anything. It's so beautiful.
This movement still exists.
Okay, I'm standing on a high point because this right here is one of the 3 bridges, 2 more behind that. It's called the Triple Bridge. Yeah, you can.
Oh yes!
Okay, we're right now standing on a little rock in front of a bridge. So this here, behind us, is called the Triple Bridge. It's actually made up of 3 different bridges.
One for the cyclists, one for the cars, and one for the people.
And it was actually built in the early 1900s. And it's been here for a long time, still very iconic in Ljubljana. This river is actually called the Ljubljanski, and it flows all the way into the Danube, which goes to so many countries. Still, even today, it's like a very beautiful little spot in the city. That area is called the Preshenov Trg. Trg means square. And that one right there is one of the rarest types of churches you've seen.
It's a pink church.
Yeah, so it's difficult to imagine that I used to drive here 20 years ago.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We're now walking back to our friend's home. It's about 2 kilometers from the city center. Today was a super crazy day.
We have walked around so much here in Ljubljana. It was a small town, but there's so much to just see and enjoy and walk around slowly, take your time.
So this friend of ours who we met through couchsurfing, he's actually also a teacher in the university in the city center. So he showed us a lot of historic places and told us more about Slovenia that we did not really know. And we also did not know that the Alps, which extend through the other countries west of here actually comes into Slovenia too, towards the northern border. So it was pretty exciting to see that landscape, and we really liked it. We're now heading back to the room, but tomorrow we have another day in Slovenia, and we're excited to see a bit of the countryside. So we'll see you again in the next vlog.
Bye!